If you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member today. Members get early access to videos, access to all the stream VODs, and exclusive access to emotes as well. So if you'd like to support the channel, become a member today.
I'd gotten so angry about all the things that I was seeing in the news, specifically on social media, and I realized that so many young people were getting indoctrinated just by going on the internet and seeing what all these...
I love, by the way, how the little TikToks, they flash out her like moving over to being pro-life and then saying manly men or men in dresses, as if that's like another big conservative thing.
But to stand out, I feel like nowadays, you'd actually have to wear some clothes. Because everyone is pretty much naked at these events and wearing the most provocative clothing that they can find to get more attention.
Okay, where are these events and how do I get there? We are going to look into Misha, Petrov, and Amala, something or another. This video came out a little while ago, but again, it's the subject, 2 years ago, wow. But this is just a 5-minute video about her leaving the left story, which I don't really know if we went into all that in depth before or not.
I am what I guess most people would call a former leftist, and now a conservative political commentator at Prager University.
I'm a former leftist myself. You can check the tattoo if you do not believe me.
My parents were together until I was about 6 years of age, and then my father left, and
What is the music? That is some way too upbeat, happy music about what it sounds like kind of a sad story. My dad left. Dun, da, 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 da.
When I was 17 years old, I graduated high school. I started working for the same organization that my mother works at.
I think the issues of gun control and gun violence need to be assessed from every angle.
I was going around to different...
I like how that was her as a liberal. They need to be assessed from every angle. Yeah, no, that's... As you can see, I was being very woke by engaging in nuance.
Middle schools and high schools and finding kids that were leaning left, and I sort of gave them a shove in that direction and started teaching all different sorts of socialist ideology and feminism and critical race theory before I even knew it was critical race theory. I felt just generally unhappy in my life, and I didn't know why, and then every day I would go into work and you would hear nothing but hate and hate and hate and hate, specifically from people who claim to be tolerant. A big part...
Okay, it's 2 years. This is an older video, so we can be a little more forgiving.
Part of what made me question it was going into work and hearing a lot of hate towards white people. And
yeah, it always is the exact same thing every single time. It's like, they were mean. Could you imagine if everything, or if my big reason for leaving Christianity was because Christians were mean to me, and it really didn't have all that much to do with like what Christianity teaches or what is believed by Christians. It's just like Christians were kind of mean, you know? Could you imagine if that was just like the reasoning? It would be ridiculous, but for some reason it's just always accepted as completely okay and normal when it's these just boring conservative videos.
And I'm half black, and I was raised by the white side of my family. So it was a hard thing to go into work every day and hear from all these different people of all different races, many of whom were white, that they hated white people.
So then don't hate white people, but also you can agree with liberal policy. Man, all these people were talking shit about white people, you know? So now I no longer agree that everybody should have access to healthcare. What? What is wrong with you? You have to be really shallow to have this kind of shit full on just persuade you.
And just crazy, blatantly racist things. So that was my initial call out, and I went to the VP and I said, I don't understand why you feel this way about white people. You have people at this organization who are white working with you. Should I feel that way?
What were they saying? Oh, I would love to know. Were they really shitting on white people, or were they saying that like white privilege is a thing?
About the family that's raised me. And he said, you don't understand how oppressed you really are. You should be angry, and I'm not here to make you feel better about your family. Something to that effect.
Something to that effect. Yeah, okay. Maybe it was like something with you adding a ton of effects. That was like Hollywood VFX right there, Amala. Push F to doubt, okay? I'm saying doubt on this one. I'm pushing F on my chat for that one. F.
Let's rate some hate comments from the tolerant left. First up, we have the very...
You can see she's very original also. The tolerant left, everybody. Oh, that's funny.
classic. You're a
That was when I was like, oh, maybe I'm not on the right side of history on this one.
It's all about the left just being mean.
And I found, Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell, people at the Daily Wire. I found PragerU, and
I found the top intellectuals of this world, PragerU.
that was a light bulb moment for me. I did a full 180 spin. It was a big relief to
Light bulb.
realize that people were not out to get me.
Notice how all of this is just like, I left the left, quote unquote, because people were mean and I had no understanding of real liberal ideas and the way in which those things can be explained and understood. That doesn't require, say, hating white people or something, or thinking that everyone's out to get you. It's literally just like she doesn't understand liberal policies, probably because, like, if she was raised in it, like, her mom was kind of just like, well, it's a given sort of thing, didn't really explain it too well. So she just lacked a good understanding of some of these liberal ideas and is, like, now conservative, basically. Like, it's sad.
Grew up in a very conservative rural area. I was top of my class, valedictorian. I was surrounded by people who were white and conservative and never had any problems. But the ideology was so deep set in my mind that you couldn't have told me that there wasn't racism and patriarchy around me. So to realize that the systems and institutions in this country are actually founded to make me successful, that was such a big relief. It was one thing to feel deceived and tricked by the left.
Oh, I see. So we unironically are going ignorance is bliss route. We went from, I was depressed as a liberal because systemic racism was a thing. Now I no longer believe in this thing that is real, and I feel a lot better. That's actually a really good mindset to have. Thank you, Amala. If I ever get cancer, I'm going to just stop believing I have cancer, and I'll be better. Because before, when I was believing the leftist lies that I have cancer, I was feeling pretty bad about that, man. No one wants to have cancer. But to stop believing in this thing that was true anyway, wow, relieving.
But it was another thing to get the relief that sort of comes along with conservatism and being able to know that you are fully accountable for how successful that you are.
$5.
And
That's just stupid. It's true that you should work as hard as you can. It's true that you should not just roll over and be like, oh, I'm a victim of the system and not do anything to get better or work harder. But at the same time, it's also really dumb to just ignore that there are systems at play that can sometimes cause unfair barriers. We've talked about this before. It doesn't necessarily mean that everyone who is a minority is going to face barriers, but minorities do face a greater risk of barriers based on their status as a minority. Talking about that and looking into it and being aware of that can, again, be done in a way that's healthy and mature and doesn't require you feel depressed and miserable all day long. But also, in order to get away from that depression, you don't need to deny reality.
it had gotten so bad in my daily life, just hearing ridiculous ideology and false narratives that I no longer believed in, that I felt the need to say something. So I hopped online and started making videos.
Red pill?
In the fall of last year, I'd gotten so angry about all the things that I was seeing in the news, specifically on social media, and I realized that so many young people were getting indoctrinated just by going on the internet and seeing what all these...
I love, by the way, how the little TikToks, they flash show her like moving over to being pro-life and then saying manly men or men in dresses, as if that's like another big conservative thing. I suddenly realized, man, with my awakening and all, that like when dudes wear stuff that I was always taught is like for girls and has cooties and shit, that like when they do that, man, it's like it's not cool, bruh.
Realized that I was doing the same thing when I worked for the left. I was going around to these young people. I was forcing them into the ideology that I didn't even have the backing to support. And now that I felt fully grounded in my beliefs as a conservative, I felt I needed to sort of make up for what I had done on the left, and I started getting on TikTok because I realized...
True that a lot of my conservative beliefs were pretty dumb and weak, but at least I generally had an idea why I believed the things I believed. I was not indoctrinated into being a conservative from my parents or grandparents or anything of the sort. I believed it, and I mean, indoctrinating, I was definitely not indoctrinated, but I mean, there were certainly influences at play that kind of pushed me in that direction, of course. But I mean, at the end of the day, I had a pretty decent understanding why I believed what I believed. Even if some of it was kind of like, cringy, surface level type shit, at least I knew. At least I had some semblance of an understanding why I would consider myself conservative, and then had some semblance of an understanding why I'm no longer considering myself a conservative. But yet, instead we get this dumb shit all the time. This like, I didn't even know why I believed what I believed, you know? Yeah, you were unhappy because you lacked conviction, you were spineless, you were a loser, and you never took the time to look into why you are apparently so passionate about some of these things. This is a you problem, boo.
I started on TikTok, and it was just a fun thing that I did in my free time.
When you do research to support your socialist views and end up a conservative, man, this girl would be mind blown if she knew that there is a way to be socially liberal and then still economically in favor of capitalism to a large extent. She would be mind blown to know that there's a thing like that. It turns out that it's not like markets solve everything, capitalism for the win, versus we need communism, abolish markets, rise up, take the means of production. Turns out there's actually a middle ground there too.
The most difficult challenge that I face is how deeply brainwashed people are in our society. And I've met a ton of people where it doesn't matter how many facts you put in front of their face, how many real-life examples you show them of people who have been successful and subscribe to conservative ideology, and showing people that this country is really great and that this country wants to be great for you. And it doesn't matter how much you tell somebody that. Sometimes they are just so deeply, deeply tricked that nothing ever.
Deeply tricked. She speaks in very vague terms. You never really know what she's getting at. Like, tricked about what? They believe that there's systemic racism? Is it a trick if you believe it based on literal empirical evidence? It's just a joke. She's the one who's brainwashed.
Never breaks that barrier. I would say I'm a short-term pessimist, long-term optimist. I think things are getting worse. I don't particularly think that we're winning on our side here.
Oh, so from unhappy liberal to unhappy conservative. Oh, plot twist. Didn't see this one coming.
But every time that I get a comment that says, I never looked at it like that, or you said something that I didn't know about, or I had never heard that news story, and you gave me a new perspective on that, then I'm saying, okay, we're winning the culture war a little bit, and we're making a little bit of progress. You are nobody's victim.
I am so sick of conservatives acting and pretending to be cool. Like, they think they're like the cool, like, counterculture. It's like, you're not. You guys are just tryhards.
You are nobody's victim. And the people who are going to sit you down and try to convince you that you are the true people that are against you. They are not fighting for your progress. They are not fighting for you to be successful. They are not fighting for you to go anywhere in life, but to fall into this pit of nothingness where you are angry at the world.
Yep, that's the goal. The ultimate Marxist agenda. It's funny, actually, because when you're really depressed and really just upset and lost and feeling directionless in life, you're more susceptible to radicalization in general. So if someone's really depressed, they could be susceptible to being radicalized or quote-unquote brainwashed, even to some degree, on either side.
Be a thinker and truly look for truth rather than emotion.
Is that why, like, the conservative narratives are consistently based on feelings? I'm afraid of trans people. So it's a fact that they're bad, dude. Yeah. Like, this is just the conservative mantra most of the time. So, wow. Depressing video. Sad, honestly. It's always just like, they were mean. It always comes back to that. Now we got to check up on Misha Petrov. And she posted a video called, What is Happening to Fashion? That's right, guys. You thought that the world was tough. Now, fashion is even at stake. Even the woke liberals have their grimy paws on fashion. All right, let's find out.
Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to take a look at how fashion has changed over time, and I want to talk about the modern fashion trends and how they're honestly kind of ugly. Now I know that styles, designs, trends, they are always changing in terms of fashion, and I know people have, different preferences for what they like to wear. I also want to note that I have never been a fashionista, right? I have never really cared about what brands will tell you you need to have, right? You need to have the updated wardrobe. You need to have
Oh my God, you mean you don't even have a Gucci purse?
this new
Lame.
accessory that everyone's wearing. Or I think over time, however, I did start to find fashion more fun, right? And trying to find clothes that I found to look nice, but also are still comfortable.
I guess when you filmed this video, you were in your not finding fashion fun phase?
I don't think you really have to be into fashion to notice, for some reason, somewhere along the way, if you take a trash bag and you throw it on a model and you tell them to walk on the runway, now that's fashion. Not just fashion, actually. That's high fashion, that's genius, and it's art. And
What? I need to look this up. Hold on. I mean, in fairness, what I'm reading or looking at right now, everybody's making fun of this. This is not like, this is like the new fashion. There is no way. Could you imagine if you just go to Walmart and see this? I'd be like, okay, this lady's coked out and was looking for something in her trash can and brought a part of it with her, apparently.
And all it takes is for someone to say that it makes them feel something and they feel like it's art, well, then it's art.
She's actually doing it. So she doesn't understand what art is. If you ever go to google.com, okay, and type in define art, you'll see something really fascinating. The expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form, such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Yeah, art exists based on people thinking it looks cool, or not even cool, just eliciting an emotion of some sort. As long as people feel like it's art, it's art. That's kind of how art works, more or less. Yeah, actually. And also, when you say it doesn't have to be beautiful, you're right. It doesn't. That's not what makes it art.
Even if it's not actually beautiful, even if it's atrocious, it doesn't matter. And if you take a look at models before and then models now, the styles before and the styles now, it's actually really depressing.
Back in my days, boys would be going outside wearing a suit and tie. You know what? That is something I really miss. Men never wear suits anymore. How are you a hopeful conservative when you get mad at everything? Like, I cannot imagine being so much of a that I wake up and all the shit I have going on to worry about, I decide to get upset because somewhere floating around on the interwebs, there's a model who's overweight. I don't know. I wish that I had that luxury. I wish I had that privilege, you know? Hey, Hunter, how's your day going? Oh, everything's good. You know, I have a lot of friends, money in the bank, food in my gut. I'm doing great, my friend, okay? Well, I was anyway, but now today my day's just really down because I saw a picture of a model that was fat.
It's actually really depressing. It's really depressing. And I think a lot of this has to do with the increasing emphasis on individualism, right? And how the individual can express themselves through clothing.
Conservatives are all about individualism. That looks so cool.
Now,
Wait, who cares? Seriously? It looks like a dude wearing like a shirt tied. That actually looks slick as
now even how can you convey your political beliefs through your clothes? We're seeing a lot of that recently.
Yeah, as we know, conservatives, they always walk around with their nice neutral clothing. I never had to walk past 9 gazillion MAGA hats all during 2016 and 2020. That was never a thing. What are you talking about, man?
Or how can you make a fashion statement? They'd have to find, the best quality material and come up with something that's both practical and fashionable. But now, as I've said, you can literally find, a napkin on the floor, glue it to your forehead, and then the rest, just don't wear anything, walk the runway, and oh my goodness, like everyone claps, everyone thinks that's genius.
You're comparing weird like Hollywood fashion shows where it's known for bizarre outfits. Like that's part of the thing where they're all wearing crazy shit, looking ridiculous, more or less. You're comparing that to like general society? No one's walking around with like a trash can lid on their head.
I don't know. Maybe everyone else is crazy. Maybe they really know what's up and they're seeing this and they're like, wow, that's art right there. I don't get it.
Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love. That's just the air conditioner.
I want it. It's everything. We're just air conditioners. I mean, after all, we're just walking around on the planet, breathing, conditioning the air.
Recently, there was a prank.
Dude, best part of her video so far. Best part of the video so far, Misha. Usually I hate when people put in clips like that, but that time, that one was funny, and it was a nice, pleasant distraction from your video. Thank you.
Prankster at the New York Fashion Week, and he was wearing a trash bag, and people thought, in the audience, people thought that that was a model. That was art. So it doesn't actually matter if it's beautiful, because it's all about if, you know, how it makes someone feel.
Why do you, when you get dressed, are you like, I really feel comfy in this shirt, but you know what? Somebody at Walmart might think it doesn't look too cute, so I better put on something else. Really? Is that how you're living your life?
And same thing with modern art. You know, this reminded me of Abramovich and her recent, art exhibition, where to enter, you had to go in between two naked people. Art. Genius. And then...
As if nudity hasn't been associated with art since, I don't know, the beginning of humanity. What? The most famous sculptures are of naked people, Misha. Let's just remember, she's it's okay.
We have the celebrities and their outfits at these music awards, at these film festivals, the Met Gala. A lot of interesting choices, And I know they want to stand out or make a statement or get the media attention by wearing practically nothing. But to stand out, I feel like nowadays, you'd actually have to wear some clothes. Because everyone is pretty much naked at these events and wearing the most provocative clothing that they can find to get more attention.
Okay, where are these events and how do I get there?
At the older outfits, the dresses, the suits, how elegantly people used to dress. And then you look at...
You're comparing general society dress from the 50s to like fashion shows in the middle of Hollywood today. These are not reasonable comparisons. I'm glad I don't live in a society anymore where it's like, oh, I have to go down to the local corner store to get some milk. Where's my suit and tie, honey? Honey, where's my tux?
What's going on and why is this being promoted? But I know that this trend of being half naked, that's art, that's fashion, that's being encouraged, that's being celebrated in the media, right? And
it's been celebrated within art pretty much forever.
Despite what the fashion industry is trying to sell or not trying to sell, I personally think that having at least some sort, some level of modesty is important. Because again, it shows that you respect yourself and you respect others. Especially in professional settings. It's actually extremely important in those settings because that shows that you are serious about your job, not just because of professionalism.
You have to look professional at your job. Okay, thank you, I guess? She's like somehow like wishy-washy, vaguely trying to like blame the left for this, but doesn't really know why, and you can tell.
But because then the focus isn't on the wrong thing, like your appearance or your nude body, but on what you can do, on your skill, on your personality, things that actually matter. But not just like at your office job.
Yup. I got hired because I showed cleavage. That's been a common problem for me.
But even the celebrities, like, wouldn't you rather have people remember you for your great acting skills if you're an actress or an actor?
They already do. You're again not making any sense. Like, I don't even follow these celebrity things. It's just like, these famous actors and actresses, they're already known and they are famous for their skill. They're at a fashion thing where they're wearing stupid shit. I swear to God, conservatives aren't listening to this. They aren't listening to the video. They have it like playing in the background right now. They're just waiting for the buzzwords. There is no way that conservatives are listening to this and they're like, this is a really insightful, valuable take here.
Because now we have people like Fetterman, who is now allowed to come to, the Senate in shorts, in a hoodie, because Schumer said that's fine. Because
oh no. You would have been so supportive of that Democrat senator if he had been wearing a suit and tie, right, Misha? What? You just said it should be based on their skill. So who cares, right, Misha? People shouldn't be looking at him based on his appearance, right? They should be looking at his skills and what he's doing.
Because he was going through a lot, he had these physical problems and mental problems. But if you can't function, if you can't even get dressed appropriately, Should he really have this job? But get this, the staff, they have to wear a suit and a tie. Fetterman, though, he can do as he pleases. And the people who are saying, no, this is...
Is that true, actually? The U.S. Senate passed a resolution formalizing business attire as the proper dress code. This comes after Chuck Schumer chose to stop enforcing the unwritten requirement. Wait, it was House Speaker Paul Ryan in 2017 who relaxed the rules on attire after dozens of congresswomen objected to a prohibition on displaying bare arms.
Instead of dressing to impress, you just roll out of bed and you go to the Senate. I mean, this is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing for America. And
yup. All the things going on right now in America, and this is what embarrasses America. A senator wearing a hoodie. Oh my God.
it just does not look good. And if everybody starts dressing like Fetterman, this looks sloppy. And another reason this is important to dress well is because it puts you in a certain mindset. If you are dressing like you just rolled out of bed, what's to separate your work life from your personal life? This whole movement after the lockdowns, after people said, I really like doing online work. I think I'll just stick to these Zoom calls where I can, stay on my couch, wear my pajamas, and just never leave the house.
Yes, so what?
I mean, I get it that it's comfortable and everything, but again, what is separating that from your work life? You're in the same clothes all day long.
Your skills, Misha. I think she forgot. I think she had a moment of actual cognitive break, a cognitive breakdown, and she just completely forgot that she was just talking about how it's about your skills and not necessarily what you're wearing.
I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't think it'll put you in a productive mindset. And it just further goes to
why is that not a good idea? Do I have to be in a tux before going on a Zoom call now? Wow. Dislike from me for being what a awful video.
Hey guys.
That was actually painful to watch. I'm not gonna lie. There's also another thing that this girl has been up to. Just wait, my friends. It turns out that Misha here is not only the great goddess of wisdom and knowledge, but she is also a up-and-coming Steven Spielberg, if you will. And I was cursed, unfortunately, to watch the first one 2 months ago when it came out. I never went back until now. So her series is called Woke House. You can see how very, very unique this is. Let's just see what this one is. This one's called Roommates, and I am already hating myself for watching this.
So I guess we're roommates. Yeah. Oh, you said your major was African dance, right? That's really cool. Before I became a history teacher, yeah, it would be great if you just don't talk to me though. I'll just watch some TV then. Wait, does it have
Who's who?
Netflix?
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna call it. Does it have Netflix? Yeah. Oh, do they have the section for inclusive, non-binary women, disabled? She's gonna say something like that. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong.
Wait, does it have Netflix? Yeah, I think they limit what we can see though while we're here because there are only 5 movies under the history section. Anything about communism? What about the life of Lenin?
I was wrong.
That is not what Lenin looked like. What about Nazi Germany? Wait, was Hitler always black too?
Black? Did she say was Hitler always black?
Wait, was Hitler always black too? Okay, maybe we should...
I don't get it. That's insane. Okay. What? What?
check out a different genre because I don't think these will be very historically accurate. I think they control the genres too. There's really not much to choose.
Oh, it's a joke about the Cleopatra documentary. Oh, where they change the race of somebody. Oh. Conservative humor is just so incredibly nuanced and in depth. It took me a second. Sorry.
It's from... Oh wait, there's an informative section. It has TED Talks.
Viewing gender as A, the same as sex, and B, as only two options, is actually a sort of racist idea. Because, while other places may have...
She found some random TED Talk and was like, oh, that sounds cringy. Let me put it in here. And it has no relevance whatsoever. We're just going to put it up and it's funny because it's saying liberal things that are kind of cringy. Ugh. All right, we're turning the speed up. This is only 3 minutes and I already hate the fact that I'm watching this.
gender discrimination and gender binaries. The way that it's presented in society today is based on the dominant white Christian idea. Secondly, dysphoria.
You know, I'm actually pretty tired. I think I'll just sleep so I can find my phone. I can't believe this place. They don't even have room service. And they didn't even let me put my Stalin poster up because apparently he was kind of homophobic. Yeah, that's crazy, Anka. Guess I'll sleep too then. Oh, Mrs. Schmidt told me that part of completing the program means we have to listen to the sound machine every night. Oh, like rain or something? She says it's like a learn while you sleep sort of thing. Learn like a language? I don't know, let's see.
Welcome to the subliminal recording to ensure that you learn and respect people's pronouns. Let's begin.
It's so predictable, dude. Really? Okay. I think I might be done with this, guys. I don't think I can do it anymore. It's too painful. Thank you, Misha. You got the whole squad laughing, but you now also have the whole squad on the brink of suicide. And I don't think that it's fair to anyone else to continue watching that. But there you guys have it. That is that's just where a few of these people are at, where they've landed after leaving the left.